So, so good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this special edition of the CSR Universe Virtual Roundtable. And I'm Abhishek Jha. I'm mostly engaged with the editorial section of this platform, where we try to bring in more people and converse about the impacts, their work, and whatever experience they have had in the field. And we try to exchange those experiences and share with other stakeholders in the industry. Thank you, everyone, for joining today in this afternoon for this session. And before we launch this discussion, just a brief that. Small countries, we're talking about India, and we have a huge population, and our Prime Minister Modi has also been talking a lot about demographic dividend. So about 65% of our population is below 35, and there comes a huge advantage and huge challenge also, because that population is very able to be made employable, provided we have ample opportunities to make them skilled and make them able to contribute to our national growth. And that is one challenge where government has also been talking a lot about skilling youth and giving them more training, vocational training, other skills and all. Since all of you are working in that domain, it will be really nice to hear your experiences. And before we start discussion, let me formally introduce our distinguished speaker today. We are joined by Mr. Abhishek Gupta, General Manager, Skills and Livelihood at ISEC India. We are also joined by Mr. Ramesh Daswani, Chief Executive Officer at Light of Life Trust. Joining us is Mr. Satyam Pal Sapagar. I'm right, Pal Sapagar, Director of Program and Partnership at Krishi Vikas Vagramin, KVGPS. And we also have Mr. Ved Prakash Sharma, Chief Executive Officer at Babel Foundation with us. And we have with us Mr. Sony Thomas, Executive Director at CBM India Trust. Also, a very warm welcome to all of you. And with that, let me begin our discussion with the first question, which I would love to direct to Mr. Ramesh. Sir, what are the key challenges, just to start and give a brief on this entire topic? What are the key challenges in helping people move from skilling and training to meaningful and sustainable employment? Because a lot of training and skill development work is going across the country. But what are the challenges? What are the most important aspect that you struggle to have those trained people being able to work and earn something money or to contribute in the national income?
Okay. Thank you for inviting me. Just to confirm, am I audible? Am I clear?
You're clear.
Okay. So, Abhishek, you have asked a very pertinent question, which in my view needs a lot more time than this panel discussion.
Oh,
The
please.
challenges are so many, right,
Mhm.
that it'll be hard to prescribe them in the next few minutes. I'll try my best to give you the five or few challenges which I think are the most pertinent and the most important. Most people say that the challenge is funding, right?
Mhm.
For funding a program, right? I would take that challenge as the last challenge, because money is available, money is a plenty. The first challenge is that there is a genuine mismatch between the aspirations of the beneficiaries and the job opportunities where they are being trained. So geographical location selection from the industry perspective and the NGO perspective is one of the biggest challenges. Because every location, every geography has a completely different expectation and different skilling required. And most of us, sorry to say, most of us fail in that direction because we are chasing numbers, we are chasing fund utilization. I have a mandate from ABC company to spend X number of lakhs per within 6 months. So I make sure I somehow or the other manage the skilling numbers, right? So that's
Mhm.
challenge number three. Challenge number four, that after you skill the child and after you skill the beneficiary, the actual employment on the job is always a challenge, because the job skill requirements are changing, the employer's expectations are changing, that's more dynamic. And that is where we are not able to place the trained people in the right time, at the right place, because there is some mismatch somewhere. And that mismatch is very organic. Everyone is having a mismatch. I can challenge all the NGOs on this panel that everyone is going through this mismatch ka problem, because that is a genuine situation which none of us have seemed to have realized. We don't have industry partners coming in at the right time, at the right place. We don't have funders who understand the problem. The large funders only want numbers and they want utilization to show their board, right? So that is a genuine challenge. And when I'm getting money to run my organization, I cannot say, no, I will not accept the money. It's very
Mm-hmm.
natural. So I think I've briefly given you the 5 challenges according to my view. And each of these can be debated, discussed at length. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. And now we'll go to Mr. Sony Thomas and would like to have your perspective on this aspect. Mr. Ramesh said and continuing that question, how can CSR and industry and skilling organization work together to better make this entire process a cohesive process? Because Mr. Ramesh is saying that there is no lack of fund. A lot of time we hear from NGOs and stakeholders who are working in the sector that पैसे की कमी है and we need more money to cater to the need of the people or people who they aim to skill. So how can these three, four processes can work together and in a total harmony?
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek, first of all, for inviting me to be part of this roundtable conversation. I think Mr. Rameshji said all the challenges, which is absolutely right, and I also agree with him around the same points. When it comes to how can we bridge the gap, between the skill people who are learning and also how the employers are taking them, I think one of the most important reason is that the CSR, the industry, and the skilling organizations often work in parallel tracks, rather than working together as one integrated ecosystem. I think the industries, should be involved right from the design stage itself, right in the beginning, not at the end, maybe when it comes to the placement stage. Also, very regular employer consultation helps the training providers understand what is the demand versus what the supply can be, so that it can be a evolving skill training that can be given and supplied to the employers. I also feel that strongly that CSR can play a very catalytic role by funding innovation, piloting inclusive models, especially as we are an organization working in the space, where we work with persons with disability, so that, all support that is needed for persons with disability can least reach at the supports can reach at the last mile. Skilling organizations can bring in also the ground level understanding of the beneficiary needs and the local market needs. But definitely a joint ownership, of the outcome, I think is very, very critical so that we can bridge this gap. Success should not be just measured with the number of people who have been trained and placed, but how the retention of these people who have been trained and placed in the corporates, with the employers, how they are retained is very, very critical. So more employer engagement would, help and support, whether it is in apprenticeship or, internship or workplace visit during the training, and also on the job training, which can make the candidates actually job ready. They can choose and decide and, get placed accordingly. So the objective is not just only preparing someone for their first job, but I think to equip to navigate the future transactions, or the transitions that can come in the labor market. I think this
Okay.
is very, very important. And sometimes we also feel that the technical skills, which they get trained, become outdated very fast.
Yeah, exactly. That was.
and therefore the capabilities such as adaptability or communication or problem solving or critical thinking and digital literacy, all these remain valuable across all the sectors. So I conclude saying that the industry bringing the demand side of the ecosystem, and it is important for the trainers to
Mhm.
understand the workplace requirements, the technologies which are changing, the job which are the new roles that would emerge, and what are the kind of competencies that are needed by the employers. All should be understood so that it is an integrated ecosystem that we all can work together, which will be helpful.
Okay, but exactly. That was the point that I wanted to ask, and now I will take this forward to Mr. Abhishek Gupta from my sec. And my question to you, Abhishek, would be, how do we bridge that gap? I mean, there in India, often we see that we are very, I would politely put it that we are a little late in catching up with the rest of the world or the pace of the industry that the demands are growing, and we are generally into the same momento for a very long time. We are very reluctant on getting updated because especially in the era of this artificial intelligence, all the skills and all the training that has been or are being imparted across the country, that also needs to be added to other aspect of probably a artificial intelligence, or how those people who have been trained can continue to sustain or sustain their job, because the requirements will be changed, that will be updated. How do you see this entire space, or what can industry do into this? Or you are also grappling with the fact that the new technology and new updation is coming so fast that imparting it to the set people, those whom are you skilling, is little more challenging. How do you see this entire process?
Sure. So thank you first of all for inviting this panel. And I work with ISEC for last 14, 15 years and with the
Hmm.
experience in the ground. So I will share few inputs or ideas.
Hmm.
So India is a huge country. So we know there is a different kind of divides. So rural, urban, digital, gender-based, inclusion-based. There are different set of audience. And we cannot say one size fit all. So there are, although we make a huge progress in terms of standardizations. So after MSDC, MSD, NSDC, SSCs, so we standardize curriculum, assessments, then certifications, placements, so content part. So we have made the progress in terms of the standardization of the process. But the gaps are, so there are few gaps are evident. So one is, so I will point out 4 or 5 gaps, which if as a society or as a nation, if we able to mitigate those gaps, then it will be better for as a nation. So one is the first to utilize the existing infrastructure base. And so there is no need to create n number of centers if we are not able to fully utilize the existing center-based infrastructure. So like ITI or Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendra or any other infra which already available in the grassroots level. If we are able to fully utilize those, then it makes sense. We may open to new centers. So that is the one. Second one, we have to understand there are different stakeholder to complete a training program. So there is a mobilizer, there is a counselor, there is a trainer, there is a assessor, there is a placement coordinator. We also work on their capacity building part. So in the era of AI, we cannot say the counseling can be done the old fashions. So we have to update our counselor as well. We have to update the mobilizer as well, because there are n number of schemes are going on. So the beneficiaries also means prioritize their personal incentive कि किस स्कीम में उसको क्या ज्यादा मिल रहा है.
Hmm.
So we have to understand the counseling is very important, and the counselor play a huge role. So if we able to map the real, we are able to map the real inherent talent of a youth. So suppose someone is good with the customer handling, or someone is good with the technical skill set, or someone good with the financial kind of domains. So if we able to identify those kind of mapping at the time of counseling, that would be better. Third component is a trainer. So trainer is a huge part. So they have to upgrade and the latest technologies. So curriculum are changing. And as we say कि जब तक students engineering से pass out हो जाता है, syllabus बदल जाता है. So it is equally applicable to for all sort of training
बिल्कुल
programs.
बिल्कुल.
So that is also important. In in specific to CS and same with the placement also. So industry demand are changing. So there are different kaushal melas, apprenticeship mela are happening. But we have to understand the in India, the challenge is we don't have a formalized kind of fully formalized kind of industry ecosystem. So let's say, for example, in a districts, we don't have labor market intelligence system. So for example, our Raigad or Jharsuguda or let's say Pathalgad or those kind of districts which are a rural base. So we don't have a kind of demand estimation which kind of job role are required. So, and I don't want to quote a scheme, but in a scheme, there is a lakhs of student has been trained in a apparel domain in swing machine operator, and we are training a lot many candidates in a particular kind of domains because it's a bulk production kind of trainings. So we have to identify the demand estimation in a particular district or geography. Then we can definitely build upon that. I will add few more points after this round.
Okay,
So
sure,
maybe I
sure.
will.
I would like to take this forward to Mr. Ved Prakash Sharma. I think, sir, you are traveling and you have to wait for us. But one thing that Mr. Gupta was saying, and I would like to continue on in that same sentence, that how do you decide that a particular set of training is required? I mean, you on your website, I was looking and it said that preparing youth for futuristic challenges and skills. So, Mr. Thomas was also saying that we don't know exactly what will be required, when it will be required, and probably in some part of country it is already required, and the youth is being trained in some other part of the country. There's a huge gap. So, how do you take this call that whom are you going to train in what sector going to be trained and are you in consultation with government does do this or that is your own groundwork that is.
Thank you. And I want to say that's what Sheikh has shared. Abhishek Gupta has shared detail. So we are on same boat actually. Skilling
Mhm.
industry players are having same pain, same uh, things. So
Uh-huh.
so since last 15, 16 years in skilling industry, what we have been facing, the lot of challenges are common actually, very common.
Mhm.
So if we see that one thing is coming up that to increase the skilled workforce, we have to focus on young women participation in workforce. So skilling all alone for youth. So we have to focus on young women also. One part of this that and for them transition from and migration issues transit issues are already existing, and these are the big issues actually. We have to find the way out that how government, how CSR partners can think about the non-migratory livelihood solutions, and where is the job. So demand estimation we can do, but we have to broadly identify that market-oriented skilling is required. So like a farmer is producing their vegetables or fruits towards the market demand oriented. What is the market demand? They are growing like that. So similarly, market demand oriented skilling is required. So where is the job? Job is in gig economy. So
Mhm.
more jobs are into gig economy, but CSR partner or industry or skilling industry partners are not recognizing those. They want the minimum wages or the salary slip or the industry joining of a letters kind. So the formal sector jobs is jobs for them. Otherwise, gig economy working jobs are not there. So one area of that is where is the maximum jobs are there into the informal sector. Second is
Mhm.
MSME is the most leading sectors where is the job. And within the 2 to 3 districts cluster, you will find the lot of jobs are there. We have done that exercise also. We are doing. So those jobs can reduce the migration and can help the local small industry players also so that they can get this. And the third point is one that's government infrastructure is available, but that is not available for the skilling industry. They are
Mhm.
keeping distance from us. So CSR budget has been continuously putting their efforts, and thanks to industry, a lot of funds have been coming for this skilling and education sector. And now we see this a major part is coming to this sector, and they are
Mhm.
and now we see that uh, infrastructure support should also come. It is not like that the fund you are giving. So not only fund, but co-creation exercise and support and PPP mode maybe, or maybe the uh, unutilized resources can be allocated or can be supported to the industry here. So, for example, if you want to say that if we have skill center approved by NSCC, approved by sector skill councils, even for those there we are doing charitable work through the CSR fund. Even then, we have to, as an industry player, we have to pay the GST on the rent as an RCM. These are the painful things. That somebody is donating fund to help some poor guys, underprivileged youth, and those funds are going to the GST to support the government.
Mhm.
So this should be we should get the waiver on that side. That's it. You have to follow the income tax rule. That these are just an example, and how this CSR should go by that and for this, because we are less than 5% skilled workforce in India.
Mhm.
So if we go back into the era of first decade of independent India, that was a moment of preparing workforce for the industry. So a lot of ITIs and lot of
Mhm.
energy was
Yeah.
put up into the technical or non-technical workforce preparation for the industry. So
बिल्कुल.
now we are getting maximum jobs in formal sectors are coming into manufacturing. So for that manufacturing, we need the maximum opportunities can be grabbed for the youth, which can be skilled,
Yes.
and industry players are asking. Uh, Besides this technical skills, there's a requirement of soft skills training, which is
बिल्कुल.
so that's the
Mhm.
entrepreneurship mindset and soft skills training and values. So young generation is somewhere lacking in that. So I'll come more
So
on the
Sharma
second
ji,
round. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, Shamaji, I'll come back to you on the same point, but we also have Satyam Palaspagar. And Satyam, I just wanted to have Mr. Sharma was talking about this gig economy, which is actually taking a lot of attraction among youth, especially people from the class who doesn't have enough, and they think that this gig economy, a small job, maybe 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and that can help them sustain. But my point is you are kind of working around this rural development and agriculture sector. So, uh, how difficult is it for you to convince you that not going towards a smaller, short-term gig economy and rather than focusing on the skills that can actually sustain them for a longer period of time, especially in the agriculture sector and the rural sector, rural development sector? So, do we find this challenging because easy money is something that attracts a lot, but sustainable money is something that requires a vision? So, how do you differentiate and convince people there?
Okay, it's we are talking about first of all, Abhishek ji and the CSR Universe. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Pleasure, pleasure.
Yeah. So now answering to your question, how do we convince people?
Hmm.
So the work we do at Krushi Vikas, as name suggests, Krushi Vikas, we work around agriculture, for
Hmm.
agriculture and for people who are in agriculture.
Hmm.
So we start with working with agriculture, and whatever skills we impart, they are basically in addition to agriculture. So we work on improving the package of practices. So their income can be improved. by better yield, better quality yield. And along with that, parallelly, we train these youth on agri-allied programs like poultry, goatry, or dairy, animal husbandry. We have created paravets in field. So they are getting local employment. And
Mm-hmm.
so what happens is it's also necessary that we financially literate people, because if we compare today's lifestyle in rural area, in an urban area, the cost remains almost same. But then if I'm shifting from rural area to urban area, I'll have to pay extra rate. But then if I stay
Mm-hmm.
back, I can work from my home. I have my own freedom to work and earn money. So I have that leisure, that freedom. And when we talk this, people generally get convinced. And now what had happened, there is kind of saturation of opportunities in rural area. Bigger cities are getting saturated. Then we are moving like corporates focusing more on now tier two, tier three cities. So focus has shifted. So and there are many people in rural area. मराठी में एक कहावत है, घरची
Mm-hmm.
भाकर खाऊन रोजी रोटी के लिए चांगले. सो घर पे रह के अगर आप कम भी कमाते हो, दैट्स मोर इकोनॉमिकली प्रॉफिटेबल. Not just
Mm-hmm.
economically, but it also add value to your social and mental well-being because you are with your people. So that
Mm-hmm.
system is there. And when you are away from your home, you need to work on, you need to take care of those things. Yes, everyone mentioned different challenges, and I do have. So I got opportunity to work with different organizations, different program, different industries in skilling. So I do have different remedies, I can say, to the problems raised here, and I'll come back to you on that. But
Okay.
convincing people to stay back and work there in local, so the
Mm-hmm.
local economy flourishes, that's become easier.
ओके. रमेश सर, एक चीज आपसे वापस थोड़ा और अच्छे से समझना चाहेंगे कि व्हेन द गवर्नमेंट लॉन्च दिस स्किल ट्रेनिंग विथ लॉट ऑफ fanfare about 10 years ago. Then we have this CSR coming from almost like 15 years ago. The CSR thing was made mandatory. So how do the two work together? I mean, when you, I mean, who says to the industry body or who says to the corporate that what kind of skills is required? I mean, or do you also go to the government and in terms of policy or in terms of normal informal interaction tell them that certain segment or certain kind of skill is more required because government database is not exactly as updated as somebody who is like people like you who is working with the industry and the youth as well, because youth have an aspiration, certain aspiration, and the industry have a certain requirement, and you have to work in between to match both the things. So who goes to the government, or how does government find it, that what kind of requirement is there, what is the money that will be required, how many lakhs or thousands of youth is required? Because now we are seeing that Japan is going to seek a lot of people from the Northeast. And a lot of institute are training young people in the Northeastern region in Japanese because of certain ethno similarity. These people from this region is easily, jailable in that Japanese society. And that is the preference that the government of Japan has also expressed to the Indian side. So so in terms of domestic atmosphere, what is the how do you decide this? Who decides it? And how do you make amendments and updation also to this?
Uh, Abhishek, your question again is very, very, very interesting and very elaborate, right? Uh, for an NGO, when you talk to an NGO to go to a CSR fund, let's take the corporate level for the moment, right?
Hmm.
A small NGO finds it very difficult to approach a company and to go for CSR funding, right?
Hmm.
That is purely because of the documentation required, the formalities required, the compliance required, etc. From the CSR giver's point of view, right? So that is the challenge which a small NGO has, and the small NGO has to grow to a medium size to be able to afford the compliances and to be able to go to a CSR fund and ask for funding. because CSR also has got its own very peculiar requirements, very peculiar focus areas, very peculiar timelines. Like just yesterday, I was talking to a CSR partner or proposed partner, and he said, Mr. Daswani, you are late. I said, how am I late? I'm asking money for 26, 27, 27, 28. He's saying, but we have already finalized for 27, 28. Now you come to me for 28, 29. That means we are already 6 months ahead of time. I thought I was ahead of time, but in reality, I'm already late, right? So those are the challenges with the CSR part is concerned. Coming to the government, your question is, Abhishek, very interesting. 15 years ago, when I joined the social sector, the first lesson I was told to learn that if you want to scale up, make government your partner. Okay. And if you want to really make an impact, partner with the government, right? So that is the learning or a lesson which I've got 15 years ago. But believe you me, till today, I've not been able to put that learning into practice. And ask me why. Because we don't have the wherewithal to deal and collaborate with government. Government dealing or government liaison or government way of working with an NGO or any partner has got its very own peculiar requirements, right? So that is something which an NGO, in my view, is not able to do, or a small size NGO is not able to do, right? Because the requirements are peculiar, the alignment with their programs is peculiar, right? So an NGO who's doing small work, medium-sized skilling work, is very difficult to partner with the government unless and until he's really got some hand on his head. Let's put it that way. He's got some blessing from somebody. Only then he may be able to partner with the government. If any of you on this panel is able to give me that secret, I'll be happy to jump in and scale up my operation, right? And partner with the government for any of our programs. Because we are into education, we are into livelihood, we are into healthcare, and we are into environment. So I've got a basket of 4 verticals. Anybody gives me a clue, how do I partner? I'll be more than happy to partner with central, state, any government.
And that also brings me to Mr. Gupta from ISET. And again, my question is, uh, if somebody is trained and like if somebody is trained in something like maybe 5 years ago, the people were being trained to train others in computer literacy. Now with the advent of AI and almost all of us are having AI. Also, skills like animation that was like low on the skill because 6 months, 8 months training were happening, and people were getting some kind of local job, printing press, or small gigs in their districts, not very far. They don't have to come to the national or state capital for that. Now with this artificial intelligence and new technologies, upgraded technology, those skills are now getting outdated. How do we keep pace with that person? Because now that person will be most likely unemployed or going to be unemployed in, if not now, maybe a couple of years from now. So how do you keep that pace of, eagerness or urge among the people that you have trained, or probably at a policy level that, okay, the training that you have got is going to sustain you maybe for another next 4, 5, 6 years. And before your training gets outdated, you will also have to get updated or acquire new skills. So how does that work? And how much of more money we are going to, spend on the same youth time and again?
Sure. So we always used to say that the upskilling and reskilling will be the fuel for next generation. So in our universities and various other gatherings, so we used to say that 1 degree will not feed you the whole of your life. So you have to be ready to upskill, reskill yourselves with every 3 to 5 years of your times. So there are various programs which are upskilling, reskilling, governments launch, CSR also launched. So I will take you some examples. So it will make more correlations. So let's say a scheme we are implementing, Pradhan Mantri Vishwakarma Yojana. it is a kind of upskilling or reskilling kind of part for our rural artisans. So artisan who already know कि माला कैसे बुनी जाती है और मछली कैसे पकड़ी
हम्म।
जाती है और लोहे का काम कैसे
बिल्कुल।
होता है. So they now induct with the trade in a more theoretical and practical way with a more aligned structure academics with the certified trainers and who train them. And the government also trying for them after completion of this training program, they will get some kind of financial incentive because a working man cannot come to the training center for 5 days because his livelihoods will be lost. So
हम्म
government also ensuring around 15,000 rupees of incentives. So he or she will get after completion of training. So
हम्म
so that is a one part from the government side for upskilling, reskilling kind of programs. In CSR one, so I highlight two programs which we are already doing. So one with the Polycab. So Polycab, the electrical company, and we have trained more than 4,000 assistant electricians
हम्म
with the support of Polycabs. So who are these assistant electricians? They are the vendors, vendors के जो vendors हैं further. तो उनके vendors
अच्छा।
के साथ जो electrician काम कर रहे होते हैं, हमने महाराष्ट्र में 4,000 electrician को train किया. It is again a 5 day reskilling, upskilling training program. So it's a whole day provided the provisioning with the food and logistic arrangement as well. So those kind of training program are happening, and so these are the some are blue collar kind of work, and let's say in a IT or the future skill kind of job roles. So earlier, so we are training with the few CSR corporates and supporting our college students and a final year college student with the future skill kind of job roles. So like Python, then cloud computing, then data science, those kind of job roles which are not earlier part of the ecosystems. So
हम्म
we are also helping them, the students. So there is a one program we are working with GenPet. So they are supporting us in a way, and we are training the pass out student who have been passed out, but they are not got placed. So they can again enroll for a three month, 6 month kind of training program, and they will get a upskilling part in the demanded job roles. So those kind of the mindset of overall ecosystem. So student beneficiaries, training agencies, parents, and the funding government side, everyone has to make up a mind because it will require for the ecosystems. So
हम्म।
the industry has to come forward and they have to say their technology will be changed and we will require those kind of people with
And
a
they have
certain
to
skill
say it
set.
in advance so that
Yes,
the
yes, in
industry or the
advance.
skilling
Yes,
sector should
yes,
be able
yes, yes.
to.
Yes. And we have to also counsel the parents also. It is not 1 degree will feed your students for a whole life. So they should have a make up of minds because we know
Mhm.
there are people, they are pursuing the skill training programs. And even I also trained for me, means our company offered few of the training program for the senior management also. So we are pursuing a management development programs. So everyone has to upgrade himself, herself to pace with the industries. So these are the some ideas which we are doing. इसमें में
बिल्कुल
सर मैं
बिल्कुल।
I like to add few more. So one more point. So after jobs, जैसा आपने बोला कि हम उनको support कैसे करें. So there are different
हम्म
portals. So job portals. So हमारा अपना एक portal है rozgarmantra.com. So after student who get placed, so there it is a free of cost for the students. So they can make their profile, they can apply on the job. So there are a weekly basis job posting, and we can schedule the job interview रोजगार मिला. एंड उसमें भी जो रोजगार मिला है, सो इट इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट द मैच मेकिंग बट द इकोसिस्टम कैसे बदल रहा है. एम्प्लॉयर आके बताए कि दीज आर द डिमांड्स हम आगे देख रहे हैं स्टूडेंट्स में. सो ये चीजें हम कर रहे हैं. ऑल इट इज नॉट अ फुल पेस बट यस वी आर डूइंग अवर लेवल बेस्ट एंड देयर इज अ होल इकोसिस्टम हैज टू कम फॉरवर्ड टू फॉर दिस अपस्किलिंग रीस्किल काइंड ऑफ वर्क.
ओके। अभिषेक जी, आपके सवाल के बाद नाउ आई वुड लव टू गो बैक टू मिस्टर सोनी एंड one thing that I have in my limited exposure and experience have noticed that there are certain pockets in the country which train a certain type of skills. And correct me if I'm wrong. Like Kerala is known for nursing staff across the country. Wherever we go, we see nurses coming from Kerala. Then, strangely, in Delhi, I had seen most of the people coming from the plumbing work. They had an experience from Odisha because there are apparently few ITI who keep training people, and not only they come to Delhi and other metros, but they also go to the foreign countries or the Gulf countries basically. Also, in terms of camera and editing work, I have seen people have been mostly trained in states like Karnataka, near Bangalore, and in Tamil Nadu. So these are a couple of skills that I have noticed in my small professional journey. Just wanted to understand, why don't we diversify? Why can't we have nurses from all across the country, or maybe plumbing or electrician that Mr. Gupta was also saying from across the country? What is that keeps a certain skill limited to a certain geography? Why is it that? And why can't we take it all across the country, everything? If you can have your understanding and perspective on this.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Abhishek, for that question. I mean, basically, let me also clarify. I think probably among the panelists, there are others who have been doing the skilling for a very long time and handling multiple sectors. But as far as CBM India Trust is concerned, as Mr. Ramesh was saying, we are an organization working for persons with disability and focused in anything that what we do. We want to make sure that a person with disability is also kind of
Able and
benefited.
accommodated.
Yeah. So any work that we do, the impact has to be there. It should be touching the lives of the person with disability. When you ask this question, for us, we have inclusive health, inclusive education, inclusive livelihood, inclusive disaster management, access audit and para athletes, all these spaces that we are working. And the skilling comes under the livelihood sector. So in that, we have just started recently, not too many years back, but about last couple of years, where we've been taking some trades and working, unlike what Isaac was talking, or even Mr. Ramesh was talking, So we've been training people for the retail segment, basic computer knowledge, all these areas. But to the question that you asked, I think you only have the answer also, probably because when you said about Japan is looking for people from Northeast, or you go to Canada, there's a lot of people from Punjab who is there, or as you said, the nurses are all there in the Gulf and in the Europe or in the America from Kerala. I think some trades, some sectors, people have had that natural ability and skills, and also the desire, because they are all following one after the other and going as a cohort together, one leading to the other and linking for the job profiles and going. So that could be one of the reasons. Like when you said about Northeast people for Japan, I think it's mainly from the aesthetic look of the people, and also probably the language that they can speak in, English.
Yeah, I
And
mean
all those
the
things.
food habit also, that is
Yeah, food habit
kind of,
also matches. But Japan, though, English itself is a little difficult. That's why you need to learn Japanese and
Japanese, yeah.
go there. But coming back to the point that I was mentioning, being an organization that's working for persons with disability, I would say even in the work that we do in terms of the skilling, I would urge that all of you, I'm sure some of you must be already working, is also to bring in the point of inclusion and accessibility, particularly for the undeserved community. Because inclusion must be designed right into the programs, right from the beginning, at the proposal stage itself. So that, whether it's the training centers, whether it's the learning materials, whether the assessments, all should be able to be accessed by the person with disability. And it is important that the trainers are also equipped, and we are able to engage with the families or the caretakers, and ensure that all the barriers what a person with disability would face are removed. So there is a very clear roadway for the person, to get employed. Sorry?
Okay, so I think somebody's voice is leaking,
Somebody.
and
All right.
Bharti.
Yeah, so I would return back to you.
Sure.
So we as an organization, we've just been into the skilling area for just a couple of years, and as I said, the sectors that we handle are the ones which I said, and we drive like where the CSR donor itself has given us very clearly why they have come to us is because we drive inclusion, and we make sure.
And also, sir, like once you have trained the people and now they are working, just wanted to know in a very brief, what has been the response of the employer?
Absolutely. So if there are 100 who are brought on board, we ensure that there is at least 30% of the batch is person with disability. And as you said, when it comes to employment, we are making sure that minimum 75% of the persons are employed. And also, since we are having persons with disabilities, we engage with the employers well in advance, that their organizations are also having all the accessible features, like whether it is a lift, whether it is a wheelchair accessibility, all that is already there in the organization, where the persons who are trained, who are person with disability, are able to access and work in the place. So we've been able to place more than 75% of the people. And as I said, about 30% of the persons are person with disability. So we bring a person with disability who's normally a person who's secluded in the society. We train them, build them the capacity, bring them to the mainstream, and ensure that they are also, inclusive in the society where everybody works together.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, would like to bring Mr. Ved Prakash Sharma into this discussion. Sir, just wanted to have one thing. आप बहुत सारे सेक्टर में लोगों को ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, और everybody wants to know कि should I learn this, should I be trained in that particular thing, nursing हो गया, agriculture हो गया, carpentry हो गया, or maybe upper skills. What are the three major skills that you think the youth should focus, because the sustain them for, if not longer than at least for another 8-10 years, कि एक स्किल अगर आपने ये वाले सीख ली तो शायद 8-10 साल का आपका जो अर्निंग कैपेसिटी है दैट इज इंश्योर्ड.
I think the first one in my radar is care economy.
केयर.
Actually, care is the
अच्छा,
area,
केयर. हाँ, नर्सिंग
hospitality.
नर्सिंग
Yeah,
नर्सिंग एंड हेल्थ केयर. हाँ.
nursing, hospitality. This is the area.
अच्छा.
So this is the area where a lot of jobs are there, and
हम्म.
they can see the career path also.
हम्म.
And local and outside and abroad, global jobs are there.
जहाँ प्रमोशंस भी
So,
हैं.
promotions भी हैं, and good perks are there. So
हम्म.
they can sustain easily. They can sustain. So
हम्म.
hospitality care, this the area is there. So second is
सेकंड.
health.
हम्म.
Second is healthcare. So
अच्छा.
healthcare, we have the huge deficit, actually, huge gap. So
We
healthcare
ourselves have
is
huge deficit, and we are one of the largest exporter of caregivers across the world.
yes. Yes. So we are the huge population country, and we are adding good population every year, and we see there is a gap. So
Mm-hmm.
healthcare, a lot of job roles are coming. So simply we are training phlebotomists, the blood sample collectors. So every year we are training them since last 10 years. So every year we are seeing that there is a huge demand.
Mm-hmm.
So 40-50,000 blood sample collectors every year we are seeing that there is a gap.
अच्छा. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So similarly, we see the diagnostic sector, we see the hospital assistants, and lot of small job roles are there. Radio, uh, your X-ray technicians you need.
Mm-hmm.
You need general duty assistants. So
Healthcare and hospitality, these are the two
yeah,
sectors where a lot of
yeah,
job opportunities are, और
lot
जहाँ पर
of
शायद
jobs and
अपडेशन नहीं
gap
होगा, where the skill
competition.
updation is also not required as much
Uh,
as
no, no,
fast.
there is a career path and skill upgradation is a requirement.
हाँ.
Now the new age skills are coming up, and trainings are also there, because 1,000 hours to 600 hours job role are changing from NSDC also. So we
Okay.
see that there is a age new age job roles are coming up. So we
Okay.
have to add those also.
Thank you.
And if I say the third one, we see that third one is sales job roles are there.
अच्छा.
We see that sales is something which is always in demand, and it is across the globe. So if you have the sales
Okay.
on radar, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. और सत्यम जी, इसी से मिला जुला my question is with you, that you are working in the rural sector or agriculture, around the agriculture sector, and there is a lot of migration from that sector and that region to the urban space. So, have you been able to train or see some kind of reverse trend, कि अगर किसी को ढंग से रूरल सेक्टर में उसको ट्रेन किया जाए या उसको फैसिलिटेट किया जाए, फाइनेंसिंग दी जाए, तो पीपल आर कीन टू कम बैक टू देयर ओन प्लेसेस एंड लिव even with a less income than they would have probably earned in the city and spent larger the amount. So इस तरह का कोई रिवर्स ट्रेंड आपने नोटिस किया अपने काम के दौरान?
Uh, yes, we do have seen this kind of reverse migration, but it's I won't say only contribute to the skill development. It's overall opportunities. So, like I mentioned, we work on agriculture. So, if we work along with agriculture on the other aspect like water for agriculture,
Mhm.
and then the farm mechanization, we are able to create those local job opportunities there. So
Mhm.
we are working on creating local inputs, which is again interpretation. We are working on building FPOs for collective bargaining, so they get good prices. So when we are doing these collective efforts, so people are migrating because they are able to earn what they are earning in the cities. That was they can easily earn in the rural areas in their own village. So we are able to match their economical
Mhm.
aspirations. So they are coming back. One reason which is for migration is not just the opportunities in rural area. That may be out of context here, but one reason people move to city is to get married because demand for people working in a job is more as
Mhm.
compared to people working in farms. I've
Status,
seen
yeah.
many industries, yeah. So that
Okay,
is a
okay.
challenge. But they, as soon as they get good opportunities in rural areas, being agriculture. So from agriculture, once your input cost reduces, your income increases. When you apply farm mechanization, then there is requirement of technicians, be it a drip irrigation technician or be a tractor mechanic. So this kind of local opportunities start generating in the local areas that is pulling back students. So uh, I was able
अच्छा
to work on projects where we took this kind of training programs to rural area.
अच्छा
One
सत्य
aspect, yeah.
सत्यम जी, एक और
Yeah.
सवाल था इसी से जुड़ा हुआ, लाइक इफ यू नो दैट देयर इज सर्टेन ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल हु आर लिविंग इन द रूरल एरिया एंड हु आर गोइंग टू बी माइग्रेटेड, वो गोइंग टू माइग्रेट मतलब वो रुकेंगे नहीं बिकॉज ऑफ देयर वॉट एवर कैपेसिटी. Do you guys also have any vision or any plan to train them ahead so that when they go to the cities or urban cities, they don't have to struggle from the day one, and they when they go to the city they come prepared, कि at least उनके पास कुछ तो ऐसा हो कि maybe 1 week or 2 weeks they start doing something and start earning something. So wouldn't
Okay.
it be good if we start training them at the base station itself rather than शहर में छोटे छोटे स्टेशन बनाए, जबकि बहुत बाद में होता है जब हमें लगता है कि इनसे कुछ नहीं हो पा रहा, फिर हम वहां करते हैं. व्हाई डोंट वी ट्रेन देम एट द स्टेप वन ओनली?
Okay, so it's about creating that mindset, number one. Number two, we need to work at building the skill, one. Number two, changing their mindset that they are going to other geography, other cultures, with working in other people. So they need to behave in certain manner or make some changes to their existing behavior, number one. Number two, one practice which I had adopted with one of my employees, we used to create temporary hostels for rural people in urban areas. So these people can stay in those hostels for 1 or 2 months. Once they start their earning, they can move to the place which is near to their workplace. So what happens is it's not just give them opportunity everywhere whenever, like not just this blue collar job, even for senior executive level also. If you have a place to stay, you can move to other place and sustain there. That becomes easier. So having that, building that ecosystem, so not just skilling at the doorstep, but then if we are asking them to migrate there, we also need to build that system, support system, be it residential, be it financial literacy. Because if they are not able to save money, they refuse to go and stay, even if we are providing those facilities. So that becomes difficult. So financial literacy is also a very crucial part of any skill building, unless and until you do that, because पैसों से पैसे कैसे बढ़ाना है, unless and until you talk
बिल्कुल
about
बिल्कुल
that, how people don't actually agree to move to other cities. So if you want to work on that, we need to work on financial literacy also during the program.
ठीक है
Number two, another thing is building that culture or work ethics. I remember having this experiment where we used to drop a note of 500 rupees or 100 rupees in classroom and just observe who is picking it and returning it, whether they are returning it or not. So building those kind of skills, that authentic behavior in students, that is also important when we are building people for organized sectors. One. Number two, now people have started actually. So I remember building a program where we brought women from Jharkhand, UP, Uttarakhand, and placed the entire manufacturing industry in Gujarat. But then the system was, we had already created a hostel. The hostel was away from the facility, and we supported those women for a good 3 months, not just the training program, a peer training program we used to support them. So they sustained. So if we take care of those aspects, I think skilling can become easier, or replacement, the retention. And what happens, majorly the funding comes is for certain period. One financial year, you train 300 people or 400 people, and then we are out. We also need to invest on retention and career progression. So I remember meeting employers, not just for the placement, but once people are placed, going there and understanding what challenges these people are facing, and wherever possible, calling them back to uh, the training center, helping them to address their issues. And if these students have issues with employer, it is also necessary that we address them with the employer. So we provided a support, and that is how the program which I was able to work with my employer, we spread it from one city to many cities
and
across
many
India.
cities. So now, gentlemen, all of us are in the last few minutes of our discussion, and I would want everyone. Thank you a lot for giving all your perspective. Just before we wind up, we would like to have a very small one-liner or maybe two-liner answers, because we talked a lot about the challenges, the problems, and the solutions that probably you must have proposed. And then, what is one challenge that you have seen throughout your work in this skilling sector, and how do you suggest to solve that? So that is one question and one answer that you will have to do, because only posing questions will not help anyone. And starting with Ramesh sir, what is one challenge that you think that you have encountered during this course of skilling sector work that you have been doing, and how do you suggest to work on that? And that is a small 1 minute answer to everyone, all of us, before we wind up our discussion. Starting with Ramesh sir.
Okay. Very simple answer. The only way forward and the only challenge we have is collaboration.
Ji.
Collaboration within stakeholders, collaboration within our teams, collaboration within similar organizations, collaboration with government, collaboration with international funders, partners, etc. I think collaboration is the challenge, and collaboration is the solution.
Thank you. Mr. Sony Thomas, what is the
Yeah.
challenge and how do you suggest to deal with it?
Yeah, I think for the last 1 hour, all of us spoke about skilling. I think only I spoke about inclusion. Being an
Yeah.
organization working for persons with disability, I would just stick to, say that, let's make all our workspace an inclusive workspace so that a person with disability can access. And as we are training and, giving the capacity building for the people, let's ensure that there is a good percentage of seats are reserved for persons with disability so that they are trained and they are also able to get to the positions along with the others and bring them from a secluded society to bring them to the mainstream and place them together. So have an inclusive system.
Inclusive
Inclusion.
workspace. Yeah.
Inclusion is what I would say.
Ved, sir, what is the one challenge and how do you suggest to deal with it?
I think things are changing, people are changing, so we should focus on incubation, innovations in our work, and new age initiatives we should take up. So collaboration is the key. So I
Hmm.
agree with Mr. Ramesh, and that's it from my side.
Yeah, thank you. Satyam ji, वन चैलेंज स्पेशली आपका सेक्टर तो 60% इंडियन आबादी उसी उसी इलाके में अभी भी रह रही है सो आई थिंक योर आंसर विल हैव अ लॉन्ग स्कोप
I think I won't restrict my answer only for agriculture, but that for all the industries for skill development, that we need to map job roles with the correct skill of people. Number one. Number two, we need to build capacities of our trainers as well. So if trainers also can spend some time at workstations with these people, they can actually understand what kind of challenges these people are facing and address it. Soni sir spoke about inclusion. So it's not the inclusion, when it comes to inclusion, it's not inclusion of only of person with disability. It helps other aspect of the society as well. It helps senior citizens, it helps pregnant women. So having that accessible infrastructure is one thing. Number two, having those facilities, training facilities accessible to people. I remember we wanted to train women on tractor mechanization, tractor operation. So we actually took training center at the doorstep. We went to a village, set up a center for 3 months there. Women came. I remember very cultural thing where women used to come in sari to the training center, change to Punjabi dress so they can ride, operate the tractor, change it back and going back. So that way. So if we can build this kind of inclusion system, support system, uh, skilling becomes easier
that
and
probably will help.
accessible. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Gupta, your turn. What is one
Yes.
challenge that you have witnessed all through this years of working in this sector, and how do you suggest to solve that?
So I would say means all speaker already shared. So mindset and upskilling. So I bet rephrase it. So we generally used to say last mile training delivery in rural area. I would like to change it up first mile of livelihoods. From last mile of training and delivery to first mile of livelihoods. So we need to shift the mind change. Second is upskilling. So everyone need to be upskilled. So in a rural area, so urban or everyone. So we need to be ready, everyone. So as a trainer, mobilizer, counselor, even the senior leadership also to accept the change we are observing in the ecosystem. So that's the point I want to say.
Thank you, everyone. And so, if I can just sum up what all of you made here, it was this collaboration and then innovation and then inclusion, also incubation and with Prakash Sharma contributed and training the trainer, if I may say, and using those inclusivity also. Mr. Satyam said, and Mr. Gupta said the first mile of livelihood and upskilling. These are the 6, 7 points I would say are basically where all of us should concentrate. Collaboration and inclusivity are the two things that I would also go with because like we said, like all the industry, the stakeholders, the trainer, the financiers, all needs to be at the one page because एक जगह तो हम ट्रेन कर रहे होते हैं दूसरी जगह उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होती है जिसकी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है उसकी ट्रेनिंग नहीं मिल रही होती है एंड एवरीबडी इज शोइंग ऑन देयर बुक्स दैट ओके वी हैव स्पेंट दिस मच ऑन इन द CSR budget so that also needs to be somewhere held accountable so that the money that anyway corporate is spending is spent in a good way and in a meaningful way and everyone of all of us should benefit with that. And thank you, all of you, for joining us, CSR Universe, today and giving all your perspective. We are really delighted to have your insight, and that goes a long way in having our own understanding as well in this sector of skill development. And the team that was also silently watching us and listening to our conversation, they will also have some understanding and perspective developed how should they work in this sector of skill development as well. Once again, thank you everyone, and we'll see you soon in some other kind of conversation. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
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 you
you.
all.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Nice meeting all of you. Thank